In Dungeons & Dragons, the world is yours to make, so why limit yourself to the minds of those that write the books? Here, we're going to take a look at some fun and interesting items that the community has created. This is Homebrew Breakdown. To start off, let me bring you back to elementary school. You are the class's chosen participant in the school spelling bee. You spend the whole day and night before the bee studying the dictionary. You get up there and you get knocked out in the second to last round because of the G in thorough. Stupid G. You don't want all that studying to go to waste, do you? Well, then you need the Ring of the Grammarian in your game. With this rare ring by user Denver Fart Museum, yes, that is a real name, once a day you can change one letter in a spell to alter the effect of the spell, such as cause fear becomes cause bear, mage hand can become mage band, and Everard's black pentacles can be a thing, whatever that is. Which brings me to my next point. There is a catch. You see, while you can alter the name of the spell's effect is up to the DM to decide. Better hope you have a benevolent DM and that bear is friendly. The next item brings a whole new meaning to the term glass cannon. Have you ever been visiting your grandma and, while looking at her display cabinet full of antique blue and white china, thought to yourself, what if I could wear that? Well, now you can, with technically plate armor. This uncommon set of full plate armor by user Luke DeCrisp is made of overlapping pieces of fine china. Get it? Plate armor? It provides an armor class of 20 to the user, but goes down cumulatively by 1 every time you take a hit. Talk about cracking a few eggs, am I right? Anybody? Moving on. Aside from a slowly decreasing AC, you should probably avoid getting hit in general while wearing this cracking china carapace, because if the negative AC reaches a -5, the whole set of armor shatters, doing 2d4 piercing damage to the wearer. On the bright side, the armor can be fully repaired with the mending cantrip. Better be nice to your party's mage. Throughout my life, I've always thought that you fight negativity with positivity. Thoughts and prayers, I always say, but what I mean by that is this next item. Called Thoughts and Prayers, these enchanted set of brass knuckles, the left inscribed thoughts, the right inscribed prayers by Denver Fart Museum, the fart returns, do extra damage, psychic and radiant respectively, when you send them your enemy's way. This item can only be equipped by certain classes, and depending on the class, depends on how long it takes to attune to it, but on the bright side, it brings a whole new meaning to your squishy spellcaster's pocket sand contingency when he runs out of spells. This next item is rather unique despite the image that it evokes. Everyone knows a Steve, right? When you bring him to mind, he's a pretty nondescript dude, average looking, goes to the gym but isn't buff, probably watches shows like The Office or Parks and Rec, and you can only imagine him in his free time staring at a blank wall until he has to rejoin society. But what if I told you that you could turn into Steve? Well, now you can with this next item, the Cloak of Steve. This uncommon magic cloak by user Dungeon Dad has 2 unique features that each can be used once a day. The first ability you can use is a limited version of Alter Self to change yourself into the aforementioned Steve, which is described as, quote, a nondescript human man named Steve. If you know a Steve, he looks like him. Any deception checks pertaining to being boring or mundane while disguised as Steve are made at advantage. The next ability finally allows you to make that Steve in your life useful. As a reaction, you can summon forth Steve to protect you. The spectral form of Steve appears between the attacker and the recipient, and all attacks are now targeted at Steve. Steve has an AC of 14 and 20 hit points, and when he drops to 0, he vanishes from existence. This item is fun without being overpowered and could be a great addition to your table. Especially if you have somebody named Steve at the table. Please tell me if you put this in your game with a Steve at your table. For this last item, let me put an image in your head. You see a good-looking person wearing a beautiful dress. Perfectly cut, cute to a T. You finally muster up the courage to go and say something to them. You compliment them on their dress. They turn to look at you, smile on their face, as they shove their hands into the folds of their dress, exclaiming, "It has pockets!" What if I told you you could have that experience, that joy, in a fantasy realm as well? With this next magic item, cute dress with pockets. This rare skater dress stylized garment by user Sirika Oim has two hidden front waist pockets of surprising size. It gives the wearer +1 to their armor class while wearing it, and the two pockets are essentially two smaller bags of holding, with each being 1 foot in diameter and 1.5 feet in depth. At the beginning of a long rest, the user can speak a command word and the dress will clean itself, and you can alter the dress's pattern and color, but not the cut. Now, I know what you may be thinking. This dress sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? The catch is this. Unfortunately, the dress is cursed. But not in the way you think. If ever asked about anything pertaining to the dress, the user must make a DC 20 Wisdom saving throw, or loudly exclaim, "It has pockets!" while shoving your hands into said pockets and twirling in place. The pockets do function as an extra-dimensional space, so all of the same rules pertaining to a bag of holding or a portable hold also apply to this dress, bringing a whole slew of new ideas you can do with that information, other than the fabled Arrow of Annihilation homebrew that's been around for ages. This item is cute, fun, and functional, and can bring a whole new meaning to that manic pixie dream girl character idea you've been having. Whether it's a quick one-shot or a long-running home game, these items can bring a silly pizzazz to the game without taking away from the experience. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorites, and if you have a homebrew idea that you'd like to be featured on here, let me know as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next breakdown.